Every NBA player remembers their first moment in the league. It's a time when they're still a rookie, learning the ropes. They may get trash-talked, owned by a more experienced player, or miserably fail to perform. No matter what happens, those memories stay with them forever. NBA rookies are also starstruck when they share the court with players they grew up watching. Imagine how much worse it would be if the veteran player welcoming you to the league was the trash-talking GOAT himself, Larry Bird. Welcome to the Squad Dawkins channel. Here we break down the best welcome to the NBA Larry Bird stories. After a standout career at the University of Oklahoma, Stacy King was selected by the Bulls in the 1989 NBA draft with the 6th pick. He played 4.5 seasons in Chicago, but he can't seem to forget that one meeting he had with the great Celtic legend.
You know, I tell the story about Larry Bird, you know, when my first game going up against Larry Bird, where he's shooting like 10 feet behind the three-point line. And we had, you know, Phil had designed a defensive play with me and Horace to switch because they ran a down screen between Kevin McHale and Larry Bird. So we would switch because we were the same size. So he said, Stacy, when you switch out to Larry, deny him the ball and make him get as far past the three-point line as possible, which I did. So when I'm guarding Larry, my feet are actually on the three-point line. I'm on the three-point line, and I was quick. I mean, you're not going to beat me. He's not going to beat me off dribble. So he's telling me, shot clock's winding down. He's telling me, hey, Rook, you going to give me the shot? And I'm like, shit, shoot it. You ain't going to do nothing with it. Man, you 35 feet away. You out there. He's out there Denzel Valentine range, a hash mark. And I'm like, there's no way in the world you're going to take this shot. He goes, you know, if I take this shot and make it, you're coming out the game. And this is the Boston Garden. The crowd was going crazy. Shot clock's winding down. You hear Phil Jackson, get up on him, get up on him. And I'm waving Phil off like, shut up, man. I'm right here. I'm on the three-point line. What is he going to do? So then all of a sudden, it's like, you know, the shot clock's going down 5, 4. And you know, that's when they used to count it down. So they're counting the three-point down. He just jumps up, squares up, shoots the ball from that hash mark on the side, right by the score table. Knocks it down. The crowd goes crazy. So I go down to the other end. The shot, the horn blows, and I knew someone's coming in for me. It was Scotty. Scotty's coming in for me. I'm looking around like, oh man. So as I'm going out, he said, I told you what I tell you. If I hit that shot, you was going out. Now go sit your little young ass down. So I walk over to the bench, and I'm mad because he's talking trash. He's talking trash. He was a notorious trash talker. So I go sit down. He comes back in another play. He's sitting in the corner in front of our bench. And he said, hey, Rook, guess what? Don't feel bad. I do your boy Pip like this all the time.
With the number of players Larry Bird trash-talked and took to school, if the NBA ever introduces a trash-talking award, it should be named after Larry Bird. The guy was just peerless when it comes to mind games, as rookie Eddie Johnson found the hard way. Eddie Johnson guest on the Rex Chapman Show, published on basketballnews.com YouTube page. He shared the legendary trash-talking and beating he received from the Boston Celtics great.
He was always talking so much trash to me, and he taught me how to trash talk. I mean, Larry Bird basically taught me how to trash talk. And so there's one game in Boston, he just worked me over, man. Like, I went out for the jump ball, and it was my second game of my career, and Cotton Fitzsimmons started. And I'm scared to death already. You know, not just a Bird, but, you know, I played against McHale in college, so he was cool. But Robert Parrish, I mean, Dennis Johnson, I'm looking at all these dudes, man, and I'm intimidated. I had played against Danny Ainge in college. So, but Bird walks out at the jump, and the veterans on my team said, Eddie, just don't pay attention to him. Fine. So I mind my own business on the jump, and he walks out, and he just stands next to me, and he leans over and he looks at me. And I didn't pay him any attention. He said, do you honestly think you're gonna guard me, motherfucker? Curse that. Like, what? I just didn't say nothing. Then he stands up and he looks over at our bench and he looks at Cotton. You all think this rookie gonna guard me? Man, I'm gonna bust you up, just right in my ear. And I'm just looking forward. I'm like, and so by that time, all the guys on the floor is just cracking up, even my teammates. So I'm like, would this official please throw this ball up? So the official couldn't throw the ball up because there was something going on the side. So then finally he walks around, stands in front of me, he said, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna wear your ass out. And then I looked at him, I said, I'm here, don't worry about it. I said, you ain't intimidating nobody. I said, I'm from Chicago. Where you from? He started laughing. Game starts, and he's just wearing me out. Okay? And I'm trying to go back at him. I'm shooting bricks. And in the fourth quarter he was in, it was late. Game was kind of close. And he came down, he said, you talking all that junk. I bet you can't do this. And he raises up from Steph Curry range. And he shoots an air ball. And I look at him, he like, that don't matter. It's the fact that I can do it and stay in the game. I bet you can't. I'm like, okay. So that stuck with me.
An NBA legend that got a nice welcome by Bird was the Seattle Supersonics Shawn Kemp. The Sonics drafted Kemp in the first round of the 1989 NBA draft. Although extremely athletic, Kemp was the youngest player in the NBA at that time and struggled to find his place. He also found out the hard way just how ruthless of a trash talker Bird was when he first faced him.
I'm gonna keep this real with y'all, man. My ass got busted real early, man. I came into the league, man. I was 19. You know how some of them vets, man, they play you to the T, man. I got played down in Boston one night. We was playing Boston Celtics. So the great Larry Bird. I didn't really know much about it. You know, I'm from Indiana. Larry's from Indiana. I knew about the history of Larry, but I didn't realize how he really got down. Larry gave me 50 and 3/4.
He was hitting everything.
And he talked to me the whole entire game.
What did he say?
Well, first of all, he asked me to jump ball. He said, "You the cat that broke all my records in high school, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He goes, "Yeah, you the one that used to dunk my brother too, right?" Now, Eddie. And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "I got you for you tonight." So every shot he was calling, at the defensive end, he would tell me, he'd be like, "When I get down to the other end, I'm gonna pump face you, get a hand one on you, look at you, go off the glass." That's how cold Larry Bird was. Man, I was to the point of like, look, I'm gonna foul him so hard that he's basically gonna take his will. He started shooting the ball with his left hand, man. I was trying to foul his right arm. He was shooting with his left hand, banking it off on me, looking at me, still slapping me on my butt and everything, man, telling me everything.
Kemp's story is not the first nor the last we will hear connected to Larry Bird welcoming future legends to the NBA. During his rookie season in 1982-83, Dominique Wilkins walked over to four-year pro Larry Bird right before tip-off. Bird, of course, was having none of it, showing no respect for the Hawks' future legend.
And that was the first time Bird ever talked trash to me. It was my rookie season, my first game I ever played against him.
What did he say?
I can't even tell you what he said.
My first year, I'm excited. I'm playing against Larry Bird. I go shake his hand, he wouldn't shake my hand. Back then, guys just...
You wouldn't shake your hand?
Wouldn't shake my hand. He would look at me and just nod, right? And I thought, well, maybe he's just getting into the game. And so the first time I'm guarding, he said, "You don't even belong in this league." He shoots a three. Wham! I said, okay. Next time he comes down, he said, "I don't know why they got you guarding me." He hits another three. And now I'm really mad now.
Right.
He's coming down the court, and I'm guarding him. He looks at me, he said, "I don't know why they have you guarding me, Holmes." And he shoots the three. Now, I wasn't upset he made the three. I said, but this son of a gun just called me Holmes. And so I never forget that one thing, though, man. I'm like, I was so hot. You know?
When another legend was starting his NBA career, he saw firsthand how great Larry was and how serious he was about fulfilling his promises. John Stockton saw Larry Legend doing his thing at a young age, which is something he'll never forget. Back in 2018, during an appearance on the Dan Patrick Show, the Utah Jazz legend talked about his favorite Larry Bird story, and he didn't hesitate choosing one that he lived during his first campaign in the association.
I remember as a rookie, he came in, he walked by our bench at the Salt Palace and said, "I feel like 43 tonight." And he came out, he scored 43 in the third quarter and checked himself out with a 20-point victory, and I was fairly impressed with that one.
So he just picks a random number. I feel like 43. And he says it to the bench?
Yeah. It was fairly impressive, especially when he backed it up.
Clyde Drexler is possibly the most underappreciated Hall of Famer in NBA history. The high-flying Drexler was the Blazers' 14 selection in the 1983 NBA draft. He, too, quickly learned on the greatness of Bird and his trash talking.
I was guarding in my rookie year. He looked at me and he goes,
you can't stop me. And I looked at him, I said, gosh, boy, you're so confident. You're a rookie. You don't know anything. He proceeded to score like 10 straight points on me. The coach took me out the game. He walks by and he's laughing at me.
Essentially, Drexler rivaled Bird as one of the league's elite wings and took Larry Legend's spot as one of the very best when the Celtics star retired in 1992. Still, despite his eventual place among the game's top stars, Clyde learned almost immediately never to speak back to Bird. Orlando Magic sharpshooter Dennis Scott told another Bird welcome to the NBA story. Scott, who was selected by the Magic with the 4th pick in the 1990 NBA draft, detailed how Bird humbled him with his legendary trash-talking and top-notch basketball skills.
Bird was the only one that really kind of, in his soft-spoken way, when you talk about guys talking trash.
Yeah.
Hey, Rook, good to see you. Hey, big college career. I'm going to catch the ball. I'm going to pump fake. You're going to reach for it. You're going to get fouled. 2 tweets, you're going to have a seat. Lord behold, Dan, he catches the ball, he pump fakes, I go for it, I reach, first foul. I come down court, Scott Skiles kicks me the ball, I shoot a 3. In your face, Larry Legend. Yes, I'm feeling good, Dan. He catches the ball again, catches it, my dumb self reaches for it again, tweet, go have a seat. I see you second quarter, Rook. So that's how Larry Bird christened me into the NBA.
The 80s was an era dominated by 2 NBA legends, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Although Michael Jordan was starting to make a name for himself in the collegiate ranks, he was still far from becoming Air Jordan. However, Bird knew it was only a matter of time before Jordan entered their ranks, and he made sure to make his presence felt. Former Sports Illustrated writer Curry Kirkpatrick once told the story of one of Bird's first interactions with Jordan. The setting was an exhibition game between the Olympic-bound men's basketball squad, which was then being bannered by collegiate players, and a team of NBA players led by Bird Johnson and Isaiah Thomas, to name a few. According to Kirkpatrick, the 2 teams were warming up when a ball belonging to the collegiate players bounced over to the pro side. Then Michael Jordan went down to chase it, Kirkpatrick said. The ball had to be picked up by Larry Bird, and Michael went up a few feet away and held out his hands, and Bird took the ball and fired it back down the court over Jordan's head as if to say, "You're not only not getting this ball, I don't give a damn who you are." It was a harbinger of things to come as Jordan went on to lead the squad to a gold medal in the 1984 Olympics. Not long after, he got drafted by the Chicago Bulls and went on to become arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. In 1992, the best players from various colleges were called in to face the Dream Team for their first scrimmage. Future All-Stars, Chris Webber, Penny Hardaway, Allen Houston, Grant Hill, and Jamal Mashburn were part of the team, dubbed the College All-Stars. Webber, who won the Rookie of the Year award in 1994, was given a stern warning by Larry Legend before the game. By Webber, Bird told him to make sure he's getting his sleep because tomorrow Bird is going to bust his ass, and that he's going to remember it the rest of the week. Another angle to the Bird in the 1992 College All-Stars was brought by Jamal Mashburn. According to Mashburn, he, along with Webber, Houston, and Rodney Rogers, was given first-hand experience of Larry Bird's trash-talking the very first time they met Larry Legend.
And Larry Bird, you don't realize how big Larry Bird is until you stand up close to Larry Bird. He walked by us and he says, "Y'all those college guys?" And we was like, yeah, we the college guys. And he looked at us and he said, "Get some fucking rest. It's gonna be a long week," and walked off. And we was like, what the hell? And so that we just excited. We like, oh, he just talking shit or whatever. But that's kind of cool, though. That's Larry Bird. You know who we are. But he ain't call us by Chris Webber and Jamal Mashburn. He's like, y'all them college kids. And then something happened. We're sitting there and we get back to the hotel. Rodney Rogers says something to, it's a group of them. It's Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and everybody's shooting the shit. And Rodney Rogers said, "Hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since '84. Magic heard that shit. And we ain't think none of it. The next day we came in and I never seen this. And this one I was like, this is a different breed. Magic Johnson fed Larry Bird the ball probably about 8 times in a row down court. Larry Bird got the ball on Rodney Rogers, and every time he was about to make a move, he told him what he was going to do. One dribble, pull up, going left, off glass. One dribble, going right, spin, shot, bucket. He scored 9 times or 8 times in a row, left the court to go lay down because he couldn't sit on a bench.
Right,
he had to lay down
that.
because of his back.
Exactly.
And said, young fella, look like 84, huh?
Last time he made it.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow. I said, so that's they kicked our ass for the rest of the week.
Weber finally added another awesome Bird story from that scrimmage. C-Web shared the small trash talk that Larry Legend threw at Rodney Rogers and the young prospects as he was lighting them up on the basketball court.
We wanted to see Bird and to be able to practice with him, see how he worked out, see how he shot, see the junk that he talked constantly. Why do you think my generation grew up talking so much, guys? They taught us how to do it. We used to watch all those blooper tapes and everything else. The best was my man Rodney Rogers, strong, fast, quick, athletic, and Bird just set him up in the corner. Someone drives to the corner, Stockton passed out the Bird, and here you see Rodney Rogers take a full sprint. And I'm talking about, you know how Zion blocked that shot a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
That's where where Rodney Rogers came from. Except, unlike the young kid that shot the shot, in the middle of him being in the midair, Bird says, "Welcome to the parachute club, rookie," and watches him go by him, shoots the ball, and like Curry does what Bird did because he shot it and just kept walking down, like shaking his head like these dumb youngsters. They'll never get it.
It didn't matter if you were a future legend like Dominique Wilkins or John Stockton, or someone who also repped his home state of Indiana, or just a white guy trying to D him up. You got treated by Larry Legend, even if it's your first experience in the NBA. Tell us in the comments, what is your favorite Larry Bird story? And if you enjoy this video, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. For even more basketball content, subscribe to our other channels, Free Dawkins and Vintage Dawkins, and follow us on social media.